Hey, I'm Brian Cohn of Cone Knives. In this video, I'm going to be making a rock tumbler to put an acid wash finish on my knives. Let's get into it. Starting off this build video, you're going to need to get 2 feet of 3-inch PVC pipe, a screw end adapter with the matching plug. I've seen these go by a couple different names, so that's what I'm going with. An end cap, whether it goes around the pipe or inside like this one, it doesn't really matter. 4 swiveling caster wheels. It is very important that they swivel because you'll need that motion. PVC primer and also PVC cement. Lots and lots of rubber bands. Both the large and the small media from Harbor Freight. Approximately 2.5 feet of 1x6 board. 1-inch screws to hold down your caster wheels. 3.5-inch finishing nails, but try not to spill them like I did. And some good old-fashioned duct tape. This is a very simple and straightforward construction, so you probably don't need me to hold your hand through this one, but I'm going to anyways. When you apply your primer to the PVC, you have to make sure you cover absolutely everything you plan to stick together. Too much is okay, but not enough is never a good way to go. Remember to primer both the pipe and the part that you're trying to attach at the point at which they attach. Once the primer's had enough time to dry, you can switch over to your cement, and obviously you just throw the cement where you put your primer and clamp it all together. Hey, make sure to wear gloves while you're going through this because I got PVC cement all over my hands and it really sucked to get that stuff off. If you're enjoying what you're watching so far, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That would mean a whole lot to me, and I would appreciate it. I've marked out a little notch in the center of the board, 3 inches wide, that you have to cut out. This was a royal pain to cut out on my little baby bandsaw because the body of the bandsaw was actually getting in my way once I start turning and doing the side cuts. Yeah, if you have better equipment than me, you can actually do this in less cuts, and it's actually kind of funny watching myself cut this so terribly. Roast me in the comment section down below on my bandsaw technique because this is terrible. This notch is designed for the belt grinder, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish it off there. Now we got to talk about placement of your caster wheels. You don't want the gap between them to be so large that the pipe rides too low, but it also can't ride too high or it might actually topple off. So you really have to find that sweet spot, and as you can see while I'm setting them up and moving the pipe to the caster wheels to see how it rides, I adjust them back and forth until they feel just right. Here's where I think the sweet spot is, and we can go ahead and attach them down with the screws. Before you can screw them down, you need pilot holes, and before you can do pilot holes, you need to mark them with pencils, so that's what I'm doing here. This channel is primarily knife making videos, so this is a little bit different from my channel, building a tool to help knife making. It's kind of related, but if you would enjoy knife making content, please go ahead and check out my channel. A subscription is a free and easy way for you to support my small channel. If you want to see more of what I can make, check out my Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok pages. Now that the caster wheels are nice and secure, you need to make yourself the cage so that the tube won't rock off one way or the other. I'm using 2 finishing nails on both ends to secure the tube from moving one way or the other, but honestly, I think you could probably get away with 1. You need to be just a little bit more careful on this end because you have that little square end piece moving around there. So your finishing nails needs to not interfere with that once it turns, but also still hold the pipe in place. Again, you could probably get away with just 1 nail to hold it in place, but I went with 2. I don't know if I'll be doing that in the future. Now that your rock tumbler is really starting to come together, it's time to see how it fits up on your belt grinder. So originally when I put this together, I thought that duct tape was going to be what is going to interact with the belt to actually provide the friction to turn your tube. But it turns out that that isn't going to be enough. This step right here, adding the duct tape, is probably unnecessary, so do it if you want to, but you really don't have to. Once you have your tumbling system all set up like this, all you need is a simple clamp to hold it to the work table of your 2x72 belt grinder. And let's go ahead and try to get this thing turning. It turns like a dream, but we're not done yet. Before we can add the media, we need to add more grip and a better belt to your belt grinder so that it has enough friction to turn the tube. Rubber bands seem to be the cheapest and easiest way to get more friction onto the tube so that a sharp belt will actually turn it with the weight of the media inside of it. Speaking of media, this is the time where you can start adding it to your tube. You want about a 50-50 ratio of the larger media and the smaller media. Altogether, you should only fill your tube about a third of the way full with all of the media you put into it. Any more and the belt won't turn, any less and you could be using more. It took me a little bit of time to actually find the perfect amount of media, and you're also probably going to spill some on the floor because that's just human nature. Of course you're going to. Now that it's roughly about a third full, let's see how it spins. When you're running this, you have to have a VFD, and you'll need to put that VFD to about 5 to 10%. It needs to go super slow, otherwise the media will actually cling with centrifugal force to the outside of the tube and it won't tumble your knives. So you need to find that magical speed where it just tumbles like it is now. Assuming you already have a belt grinder, this is a cheap, easy, and effective way to make a rock tumbler to get that acid wash finish on your knives. I'm really happy with how this thing turned out, and let's go ahead and check out to see what some of the knives look like once you put it through the system. I'm incredibly happy with how this project turned out. The total price is going to be down in this corner right here. Honestly, that is not a bad price if you buy everything new. And if you already have some of the items sitting around your shop, heck, you can make that even cheaper. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your views and interactions because that is what boosts me in the algorithm. And subscribing and commenting are free ways to support my small channel. I really appreciate it because only about 5% of the people that watch my videos actually hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate you being among those 5%. That would help me out a lot. Please go ahead and check out my Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok pages. You can see more of my work there. I appreciate you all for watching. Have a great rest of your day.